Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Keith with Craps TX. Thank you once again for tuning in. Before we get started, if you don't mind, as always, hit that like for us. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Hit that bell for notifications. That way you'll be notified when we put out another video, which I try to do on Mondays and Thursdays around 4 p.m. Central. If I have time, I may throw in some shorts here and there, or maybe even another full-length video if I've got something I really want to try and get out. So today, what I'm going to do is a variation of it's almost like not being able to talk. It's almost like combining a couple of different strategies. Just a 66 inside on a $15 table, and then also using the 3-2-1 odds strategy on the pass line, where it's if you're on the pass line and your point is 6 or 8, you play 3 times odds behind it. 5 and 9, you play 2 times. 4 and 10, you play 1 time odds. So we'll get it started here and just kind of talk through it as we go. It's kind of based, I saw the initial 3-2-1 video that I believe Jeremy at Color Up had done, and I've seen it on Crapmaster Journey's channel. By the way, I have 500 that I'm starting out with: 100, 200, 3, 4, 475, 85, 90, and then 10 in singles, so that's 500. And I know that's light. Again, this is just to kind of keep the videos shorter, but still kind of get the basic strategy in there. Anyway, like I was saying, I saw it also on Crapmaster Journey's channel. He kind of ran through it a few years ago on his 60 strategies in 60 days or something like that. But yeah, that was the 3-2-1 strategy. And then again, I've seen it on a few other channels. So just search 3-2-1 strategy on YouTube if you want to find just that strategy alone. And then, like I said, I'm going to incorporate 66 inside on, we'll play each number except for if one of them's a point. So let's go ahead and get started and try to roll this out here and see what we can do. See if I can not screw up, since that seems to be the theme lately. I've been making mistakes, and I try to catch them as I go, but and you guys are catching them, and I appreciate that. And I try to make a statement in there, acknowledging that and saying that we'll just do better next time. So anyway, look, we're going to set a point. So first of all, let's get our $15 pass line bet down. Hopefully you can see that. I think the camera catches right about there. We'll get our $15 pass line bet out, and we're coming out looking for a point. All right, we have a 4-1-5. So 5 is going to be our point. So like I said, the 3-2-1 strategy or odds placement: 3 on the 6 and 8, 2 on the 5 and 9, 1 on the 4 and 10. So 2 times odds on the 15. On $15 on the 5 is going to be $30. So we'll put 30 very messily behind the 5. And then we'll get the rest on our 6 and 8 and 9. 15 each on those, and then we'll cap the 6 and 8 with 3 each. So we actually have a little more than 66 out, 66 total bet, obviously, with the additional $30 down there. So we actually have $96 bet out here right now. And again, that 500 starting bankroll is light for that, but again, we're not going with a full bankroll as we would be standing at a craps table in the casino. You're going to want to go with, closer to $1,000. All right, dice are out. All right, we have a 5, 4, 9. 15 is going to pay 21. So we'll go ahead and put those, the winning for now, in the back behind here. And what we're going to try to do is at least get 3 or 4 hits to kind of recoup our initial at least 66 part of it without the odds, because we can always pull the odds down as well. We have 2 craps, which that does nothing for this particular strategy, and a 6, 3, 9. So back on the 9, another 21. So we are up to $42 in hits on our place bets. and a 4, 3, 7 out. So we're not going to get our full initial bet covered, but we will move on to shooter number 2 and see what we can do there. So all that comes down. We did get 42. So again, we'll just keep that separate for now. If we need to dip into it, if the video is running too short, we will do that. I'm just going to use the same dice. Let's go ahead and set up our $15 pass line. And let's look for a point. Dice are out. All right, we have a 3, 2, or a 1, 2, 3 craps. We're going to lose our $15 pass line bet. On the pass line, you lose on the 2, 3, or 12, and you win on the 7 or 11 on the come out only. So we've got to get another $15. Put that out on our pass line. Dice are out. All right, we have a 4, 2, 6. So 6 is our 3 times odds number. Let's go ahead and get that covered. That would be, what, $45? Let's go ahead and use a green and a few reds here. All right, so $45 behind that for the 6, and then we'll set up our the rest of our what would be 66 inside. All right, so basically the minimum on each number. 15 on your 5 and 9, and then 18 on your 8. All right, so point is set. We are looking for a 6. That would help for anything box number inside. And looky there, there we go, 2x4 6 right off the bat. All right, so it's going to pay 15 on our flat bet, and then on the 45 that will pay 9 times. Man, this is always the part where I should have something set up in advance, a little chart. But yeah, it's supposed to be easy enough. 25, I know you guys are yelling at me. 45, what is it, 6 to 5? So 6 times 9 is 54. There we go, you get a math lesson too. For some, again, some of you guys probably have that memorized. So 45 will pay 54 on that, I believe. So again, we'll put that back behind here. Just kind of keep our winnings separate. And we will continue on. So point is off, puck is off rather. New point needs to be set. We have our pass line bet, and dice are out. 6 to 8. All right, so we're going to move over to the 8. And so, well, I'll move the dice to the 8. There's a puck on the 8. We'll move that bet over to the 6. Just tell the dealer, or he'll even ask you, or if you want to move it. So we're at 3 times on our odds bet behind for the 8. So again, $45 behind the odds, or behind 4 odds. All right, dice are out. All right, we have a 6, 33, card 6, 18 will pay 21. 21, we're just gonna keep that right here for now, since I don't wanna get that confused with that back there. We can kind of keep it per shooter, see where we're at profit-wise before we kind of decide to make any additional movements. But there we go, look at that, we hit the point again. So far so good. That is gonna pay 15 on the flat. And I think we figured it out earlier, right? 54 on the $45 odds bet. At least I think. If not, there'll be some editing done, or I'll just have to redo the video altogether and get it right. All right, so let's put leave our $15 pass line bet out there. Our puck goes off, and we are looking for a new point. Same shooter. Okay, we're going to go back on the 6 this time. 2x4 6 once again. We'll move that over to the 8. And then 45 behind. We'll just take that from the profit part here. All right, so we got 45. That's 3 times the amount behind on the 6 for odds. Dice are out. And 5, 2, 7 out. So that is going to be it for that shooter. I believe we probably were in profit there. Probably should have changed up a few things, which is what I was going to do. Go ahead and just, well, that's not right. These come back here. What I was going to do was just like pull down the 5 and 9 just to kind of regress after we hit our profit target for that particular shooter. And then, you know, if that shooter were to continue on, then we'd kind of continue to press up. So, didn't get that done, but let's continue to move on. If we get into another situation like that, we will try to do that. All right, decent profit going on back here, but we'll check that here in a little bit once we figure out how long this video is going to be. Definitely need to get some change. There's 5 for 25, and let's put our $15 out on the pass line. All right, dice are out, looking for a point. All right, hard 10. All right, not a bad point to go with. And then we need to set up our 66 inside. Obviously we don't, 10 is not part of that, so we're not gonna have to worry about the additional money that it would take away from one of these inside numbers, but we are gonna have to cover it. So on the 10, it's 1 times the odds, so that's gonna be 15 behind. All right, and then that'll pay 2 to 1. And then we need to do our 66 inside, so we'll just throw down $75. Dealer, please set me up on my 66 inside. We'll give you $9 back. And let's get set up there. All right, 66 inside. We got our $15 pass line, our $15 odds bet, and we are coming out here with the dice. 3 craps, no help. We have a 6-5 yo, see a horn, bet a horn. Again, no help on this particular strategy. And a 4-3-7 out. All right, so a quick 7 out. That's going to bite into us a little bit. But we did have a little success on the first couple of shooters, so let's see if we can't get this going again so we can kind of incorporate other parts of that strategy that I wanted to show you guys. So we need to get some more change. Should put more red on there, I guess. There's 5. We'll take 3 of those and put them on the pass line. And dice are out, looking for a point. 6, 3, 9. 9 will be our point. So that is our 2 times number. So we need to put 2 times the amount behind the bet. That would be $30. So we'll put a quarter and a nickel behind there, and then we'll throw $75, which this may be our last bet unless we dig into the wins here. Dealer set me up, well, 66. We don't need 66. What do we need? 45, 48. So we just need to throw 2 down. So I believe it's 48. We'll find out. There's 15, 30, 45. Actually, it is 51. So that's easy enough. We'll just throw another $1 down. So there's 51 to cover the rest of our numbers inside. Then we've got our $30 double odds bet behind. We got a hard 8. All right, that is going to pay 21. $18 pays 21. We'll just kind of keep that to the side here. So I'm not playing those numbers. That's just the profit thus far. 639. All right, point hit. Let's turn that puck off. That's going to pay 15 on the flat. And then 30. What is it? 3 to 2. So 15. Was it pay 45? He said questioningly. 30 pays 45. All right. So we are in profit. So let's get a point set, and then I'll leave the 15 down there. We'll get a point set, and then we'll kind of walk through what we're going to do. Let's condense some of this down. There's 5, a quarter, another 5, a quarter. That way we can kind of keep that stack a little neat over there. So yeah, we're over $100 in profit over here thus far. $111 it looks like. All right, puck is off. We are looking for a new point. Same shooter. Dice are out, and we're right back on the 10. Well, we're not back on the 10. We were on the 9 prior, but we were on the 10 before that. All right, so Now we can, let's see, 15, we're going to pay, or we're going to put $15 in odds behind, because it's 1 times for the 10. And then we'll go ahead and fill out our 9 here. We'll get change, 25. There's 5 for 25, and we'll throw that on the 9. All right, so actually, what I was going to do was show you what the next step was, or at least the step that I'd seen 1 or 2 others try or do. Once you got that profit locked up, what you can do, you can either turn your bets off, which some people do, or what I was going to do in this instance is just pull my 5 and 9. So we'll pull that, we'll leave that, that way we're kind of, you know, making sure we lock up a profit. And then, you know, if we get another hit or 2 on these, then maybe we can spread back out again. Which kind of almost incorporates a little bit of Uncle Mel's strategy at Craps Hawaii. And there's a hit on the 8 right now, 21. 18 will pay 21. So we will put that aside over here. And again, kind of clean that up so we can kind of keep an eye on what we've got. So 125, 130, 132. Nice out. 415. Okay, so that does hurt us because we did take our 5 down. And a 6-5 yo. No help on that. 11. And a 5-2-7 out. Okay, so we did lock up profit on that particular shooter. And we'll set this back over in the dealer stash and kind of assess things. I believe we got time probably for another shooter. We'll just kind of go into some of these winnings. We can actually just kind of move all this forward, really. Well, I'll just leave it as is, but well, no, let's move it. So I guess we can get a rack check, see where we're at. We start off at 500. That's 100 there. There's 2. There's 3. 350. 375, 400, 420, or 405, plus probably another 15 there. Probably we're at around 420 or so. So yeah, let's keep going. See if we can't maybe recoup and get back up over our 500. So we'll go at least one more shooter. I will take the mandatory check on time. I didn't bring my stopwatch up here with me, but we are at 17, almost 18 minutes. So yeah, we should have time for one more shooter, maybe 2. Let's get our $15 pass line bet out there. All right, we're looking for a point, new shooter. Dice are out, 6, 4, 10. 10 seems to be popular for the point, and that is just fine. So now we're gonna set our odds bet behind that at 1 times, so $15 behind the $15 bet. And then we'll set up our 66 across, or 66 inside, sorry. We can go ahead and do that with just some of our actual chips here rather than try to get change from the dealer. And get these white chips out. Cap those off. Alright, let me go ahead and clean that up just a little bit. There's 10. Get a couple more reds and set that over here. All right, let's keep going. All right, looking for basically anything, a box number, and look at there, we got the point. Okay, so that's not bad. We're gonna get paid, so that works. That pays 15 on the flat, and then 2 to 1 on the odds. So that's gonna be pay 30 on that 15. So we'll just pay that out with a green and a red. And we'll go ahead and take the winnings, and we'll just stack them back over here with our normal set of chips. And then we'll reassess again once we get past this shooter. All right, puck is off. We're looking for a new point, same shooter. And we're gonna go on the other end, the 314. All right, so again, that's just a 1 times bet. So we'll put 15 behind the pass line. Dice are out. And 314 point hit. All right, so that seems to be popular over these last couple of shooters, or same shooter, but last couple of rolls. So again, 15 on the flat, and then that's gonna pay 30 on the odds behind. So again, we'll put that in our rack, and we'll keep going with this shooter. Apparently, the shooter knows what he's doing. All right, so puck is off. We're looking for a point. Dice are out. And we have a 5, 3, 8. All right, so that will go right there. We'll go ahead and pull our 8, the bet on our 8 down, and then we need to put 3 times the bet behind that, so that'd be $45. We'll just leave some of that out there. There's 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So 45 will go behind there. And let's go. Nice round. All right, we have a 3, 2, 5. 15 will pay 21. And again, we'll just kind of set that over here so we can kind of keep an eyeball on what we have. Dice out. And there's a point hit again. This shooter can hit some points. Puck will go off. That's going to pay 15 on the flat, and then I believe we figured it was 54 earlier on that 45 odds. So there is 54, and again we'll rack that. Actually, I guess we could have kept that down there for that shooter, couldn't we? Which I think I've already racked it a couple times. All right, we'll just put that up. I believe we should be in the profit. He's hit 3 points now. All right. So we'll just play this shooter out here, and yeah, we should be okay at the end of this particular shooter. 6, 4, 10. All right, 10 is going to be our new point. We're right back on the other end, so we're hitting those gaps for the point. We need to reload on our 8 real quick. We'll put 18 back down there. And then the 10 is our 1 times odds, so we'll put 15 behind the 10, or behind the pass line bet. That pays 2 to 1. And dice are out. 6, 5, yo. And again, what I could do is pull down that 5 and that 9, thus locking in a little bit more profit, should Big Red show its head. So let's go ahead and do that just to kind of go through that motion and show, the method behind the different strategies that I'm kind of combining here, or that I've seen where it was combined, and then I combine it myself. Of course, we just shot ourselves in the foot there. 1, 4, 5. And the 3, 2, 5. So 2 5s back to back that we would have gotten paid on. There's a hard 8. We do get paid on that. 18 will pay 21. Right, and we'll go ahead and just rack it. And then we'll get a count afterwards. All right. Nice out. 6, 5, yo 11. Well, and a hard 10. Okay, so point hit. Even though this shooter didn't 7 out, we'll go ahead and just end it here, but we'll go ahead and pay this out first. 15 on the flat, and then 30 on the odds. All right, so there's 30. All right, so let's just go ahead and get a count. Obviously, this shooter would still be going. So this money is still active, but we're just going to go ahead and pull it off. You can tell the dealer if you want. You just want to sit out the next couple of rolls that this particular shooter has. Hey, pull my bets down, or just turn them off, either way. So let's take a look here. All right, we'll get a count. We got 100, 200. We started with 500. There's 3, and here's 4 and 5. So there is our initial $500 bet. So let's go ahead, or I'm sorry, bankroll. And then we can see what we've got here. We'll clean that up. There's 5. So there's 100. And here, we'll just count these out. Just leave them. 125, 150, 155, 60, 65, 7, 6, 7, 8, 68. So 500. That was our buy-in, our bankroll. 100, 25, 50, 55, 65, 68. 168 profit on this particular short session here. Kind of a 3-2-1, 66 inside strategy combined with a little bit of a regression in there, pulling that 5 and 9 down after you get to the profit. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Is there a way we can tweak it? Obviously, it was kind of a Frankenstein method there, combining a couple different strategies. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if you don't like it. Let me know if another strategy you'd like me to try out. We're always willing to listen to some suggestions, so please comment down below, or here is our email, crapstx@gmail.com. And if you don't mind, before we head out of here, hit that thumbs up for us. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and hit that bell for notifications. That way you'll be notified when we put out another video. Check out the description below, and you'll see other ways to contact us and some other things on there that maybe you can click on for your enjoyment. And we appreciate you watching. We'll see you on the next one.